Good morning and happy Father's Day, everyone. I have a question from a follower in Sweden, and I thought it was a really great question and something, a bit of a topic to talk about regarding the Russia Ukraine war. And he wants to know, why doesn't Ukraine target more of Russia's energy infrastructure, refineries, and more specifically, harbors and ports, and take out their ability to export oil and make money to continue funding their war? Why don't they target more on that? That's a great question. Now, first of all, for the longest time, Ukraine did not touch any of Russia's energy infrastructure at all whatsoever. It was part of an agreement with the Biden administration. Basically, we were telling them, listen, we're helping you out as much as we can. Don't do anything that could make oil and gas prices skyrocket, right? So they weren't hitting anything at all regarding Russia's energy infrastructure. That later changed, and they started hitting things like refineries and fuel depots. Hitting a refinery in Russia is effective, and it does not cause global oil prices to spike because, refineries within countries just process oil into gasoline that they mostly use in their own countries. So it doesn't have a larger impact on the global community, so to speak. And when you're fighting a war, in just like this Russia-Ukraine conflict, you have to take into consideration how the things you do may affect your allies, right? You can't be simply focused on your enemy and not have any consideration for your allies. And one of the reasons that Ukraine can't and likely won't ever hit Russia's ability to export oil out of the country is because of the impact it would have on the very allies that have been helping Ukraine with their war effort. Now, they will hit things that impact Russia directly and don't have a large, they'll hit gas, they'll hit things that don't hurt their allies, that don't cause, because understand something, if Ukraine hits Russia's ability to export oil, and that causes global oil prices to skyrocket, and it causes gas prices to skyrocket in the United States, now you're turning the American people against you. That's basically what's happening. So you have to sort of play this game where you have to make these decisions. Personally, I wouldn't mind if they did it. I wouldn't mind if they started hitting, Russia's export capacity to sell oil, to bankrupt them. I would not mind. That's not the case with probably the majority of Americans who would have to pay significantly more for gasoline. And I think that's just a risk they're not willing to take. And probably also at the request of the government of the United States as well. Understand that Russia exports over 4.5 million barrels of oil a day. Just because their oil is sanctioned does not mean it's not on the global market. It's all still on the global market. It has to be. It has to be. It's the only way to keep prices in check. People think, oh, well, they're not selling oil. It's sanctioned. That's simply not true. They're still selling it. They're selling it much cheaper, not selling it in the petrodollar in U.S. currency, selling most of it to China, selling a lot to India. We don't have to receive the physical barrels of that oil in order to benefit us. That oil benefits us just by being on the market because it drives down oil prices. So when, like I said, when you're a country at war and you're getting help from a lot of your allies, they will request things like this, that you don't do things that could directly harm their economies mostly, because it does tarnish the support for the overall war effort. So great question for my follower from Sweden. Thank you so much. You guys have a great Father's Day. Thanks.